Butter butter is the name of the dance we do down Johannesburg way.
A lot of people have a lot to say about my dressings, and my pantoffels, and my happy spoon. But this is where the happy spoon comes into his own. We are going to make a custard. It's what they call in French a crème anglaise. It's a Larny custard essentially. And what we are going to use are the egg yolks that were left over from the egg white omelets this morning. So it's a lekker way to use the egg yolks. A splash of cream, splash of milk, a bit of vanilla essence or vanilla paste, whatever you've got. I'm going to show you how to cook that very quickly. It's a fun thing to do. It's easy. Unfortunately, there's a few measurements in place, but you know that's just the way it is. And then obviously, just with a little can of guavas. Right, so getting straight into it, crème anglaise, okay, or a custard, a Larny custard, as they will call us. A crème anglaise, the direct translation is an English cream. All right, I found a measuring jug. So we're in luck there. So just to run through the ingredients with you very, very quickly, and the bits and pieces that you're going to need. All right, so obviously the big thing here are the guavas, okay, which we'll show you how to prepare later. I've got the egg yolks that are left over from earlier. A bit of cream, a bit of milk, vanilla essence. All right, I've got a measuring jug. I've got a bowl to mix it all in. I've got one pot to warm the egg and cream mixture, and I have another pot for the double boiler, which I will explain to you in a little bit. I have, however, forgotten the sugar, so I'm going to be back in a second. And sorry about that, and a bit of caster sugar and a scale. All right, make sure that you tear that, make sure it goes onto zero. Okay, so we've got all the ingredients ready. The pot of water is getting ready to boil. I'll explain that in a second. We've got a pot for the eggs and the sorry, not for the eggs, for the milk and the cream. So I'm going to start off by warming the milk and the cream together with the vanilla paste, so that the vanilla paste can infuse. Okay, it needs a bit of heat. And my best advice to you would be to do this first and to let it stand for half an hour. And just let those flavors infuse with the milk and the cream. So it's that vanilla, that beautiful vanilla milk. And that's where obviously the custard then gets its flavor. Yes. Centiliters, grams, everything but, oh, there we go, milliliters. Oh my goodness. Right, and I'll get that in there. So milk, as it looks over there, 350 mils. Of milk. Beautiful. Splash that in there. Fresh cream, room. Okay, we're going to 225 mils. Beautiful. Right. Esme Everard, that lovely Afrikaans lady from the radio, from Springbok Radio, I think many years ago, used to go through the recipes. 1 koppie suiker, 1 koppie suiker. So you repeat everything. A knoopie sout, a knoopie sout. Boy, what are you eating? There's nothing on the slippers. All right, so we've got the milk and the cream. That's going to go into the pot. Beautiful. Look at that. It's already velvety. We haven't even started cooking yet. Let's put that over there. All right. And then into that, let's just do that while I'm here. Into that, we're just going to give all this fancy stuff that you can get in the shops nowadays. Oh, it's absurd. We're going to give, what does this thing say? When all else fails, read the ingredients, chaps. Read the instructions, not the ingredients. Serving suggestion, add a squeeze. Okay, fuck it, there's 3 in there. It's fine. Let's give another one for luck. Okay, so that goes onto the stove. Alright, and we're just going to warm that. I'll just show you then. Okay. This is where the spoon comes into its own. Look at that. Okay, so just that vanilla, milk and cream going beautifully. Excellent. So, we're back. We're back. Now, into the bowl. goes the eggs. Okay. Beautiful. That's 6 yolks. 6 yolks. And then we're going to add the sugar. Just be careful with the sugar if you don't want anything too sweet. Again, just sort of guess it, you know. Put slightly less in. But we've got to go with 115 grams of sugar. Okay, we're going to use a bit of caster sugar. We put this only into the eggs. Listen to your own words there, my friend. We're only going to put this into the eggs when the milk is ready and infused. Okay, the reason for this is what the sugar burns the yolks, okay, in inverted commas, and it forms little bits and pieces. So you just got to be very careful. You'll find little yellow little lumps in there, and you don't want to start straining it, because then you strain out the vanilla pot, and that's not great either. But we're just going to speed this whole process up. Okay, so we're going to go in with 115. Beautiful. I've just put 130 in, so I'm not paying attention. Right, now, how's this for a little trick? We'll take that scale away. Okay, if you're alone at home, okay, and if you're weighing things off and if you're scaling things and everything else, quite a handy and nifty idea is to you just put a cloth on the bottom. Okay, so when you're stirring, I'm holding it with my thumb now, but you'll see just now when I pour the milk into this, when you're stirring it, it doesn't slide around. It's the same thing you put under your cutting board. All right. So talking about Afrikaans terminology in food, it's hysterical. So I get invited over to the Fynproeversgilde in Grootbrakrivier a couple of years ago, and basically what I was going there to do was to do a demonstration on desserts, which is not my strong point anyway. I've just put some more vanilla in there. I don't see enough pots. Anyway, so I go over to the Fynproever, and when I get there, it's in the NG church, in the Kerksaal, on the side of the church, and we start talking about Afrikaans words and Afrikaans terminology, you know. So one of my favorites came up, which is a mango. In Afrikaans, a mango is a veselperske. And then you get the mango without all the hairs and all the fibers and stuff, and that's a fiberless mango. So it's a veselose veselperske. I mean, you can see where I'm going with it. It's flipping hysterical, and it's beautiful, essentially. The other thing that was always a big hit was the Kenwood mixer as a voedselverwerker. Anyway, we're going through all of these words. Long story short, I get a little note from the back of the Kerksaal, 600 ladies, and I get a little note from the back of the hall. They say, "Vra vir die tannies, wat is 'n jaffel in Afrikaans?" Yes, and I tell you, I see the answer, and I'm thinking, just I don't know if this is such a good idea. But anyway, so I put it out there to the ladies in the NG Kerksaal. I said, "What is a jaffel? Dames, wat is 'n jaffel in Afrikaans?" It's not a jaffel, a jaffel in Afrikaans. Anyway, long story short, no one really gets it. It's all sorts of things. It's called a knape cookie. Okay, genuinely. So as I say this, I think half the hall started crying and were in tears, not from laughter. They were very upset. The others were laughing. It was a bit of a catastrophe. But yeah. So the Afrikaans words. So if you get any Afrikaans words, please share them with me. I would love to hear them. But there's some peaches. A chickpea. You know what a chickpea is in Afrikaans? It's a kikkerertjie. Right, so that's enough of that. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, so this, it's not frothy, guys. It's not frothy. We've just stirred it through. Okay, and I haven't stopped stirring it. And now that the milk is just coming to the simmer, I'm going to pour that into here. What you can do is you can let it stand. Remember what I said, but we're trying to short circuit this whole thing. Have the spoon handy. Okay. And then we're going to pour this hot, very carefully, please. A little bit at a time, because what can happen here? The egg yolks can cook too quickly, all right? And then they overcook, and then they get lumpy. And we hate lumpy custard. Okay. Now, don't whisk the living daylights out of this thing, because then it just froths everywhere. All you need to do is stir it slowly, but you have to do it slowly. Okay. I've made a lot of custard here, because it's just me. Last bit of vanilla in the bottom. Wait, what is so tasty about the shoes? Am I messed? Oh, I probably messed on the shoes. That's why you're eating it. All right, so put that one aside. So chaps, there we have it. So now we have this. Just look at it already. So velvety. Look at that. All right. Okay, here's the trick. Okay, here is the kicker. Sorry about all the moving backwards and forwards. So I'm putting it into what they call a water bath. Okay, why am I putting it into a water bath? Essentially, so a water bath basically is you're putting this container into a pot of water boiling, all right? So that this mixture doesn't come into direct contact with heat. Don't let it sit into boiling water either, because that's also not going to help, all right? So it must just boil, and the steam essentially is what will cook it, yeah? But what is important is that you have to keep stirring it, because otherwise you'll end up with scrambled eggs, and that's not so lekker, the texture. This thing is about being velvety and smooth. Okay, are we there? Are you still with me? Right, so I'm going to keep stirring this, okay? I'm going to try and clean my shoes because obviously Carlos is enjoying whatever's on them. I'm going to keep stirring this, and as soon as I'm ready, I'll be back with the gouache. So this is not a long process. I've been here all day. Not really. Okay, just quickly because this is about to overcook. Alright, I just want to show you what's happened here. Put it right over here for you. So it's been in this bath of water. Now, what you need to do here is just have a quick look. Look at the consistency of that. Alright, remember, it's an English cream. Okay, it's a cream custard. It's not a duck flour. Okay, but look, see how it coats the back of the spoon? I had to phone the wrong way around. Oh, see it wants to. You see these little bits in there? It wanted to almost start overcooking, so that, we know we're at the right, but look how creamy that is. Now if you pull your finger through that, I'll just do that for you. Hold on. Beautiful. And there we have it. There's it. As our friend would say. There's it. Okay. Don't cook it any longer. It's going to split. You can see it's wanting to just start splitting already. But it's no lekker. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's good stuff. Alright, what you want to do is you want to stop the cooking as quickly as possible. So just pour it into another container that's cold. And there you have it. You can see here, look at the bottom. Okay. Now, can you imagine if you're cooking that over direct heat? Can you imagine how that's going to affect it? So just be very, very careful. You can see how almost overcooked it there. Right, just on the side. So there we have the custard. So that's our creme anglaise is now ready. Alright, then this is the difficult part. Make sure that the guavas have been refrigerated properly. You want them ice cold. You want hot custard and cold guavas. I don't know if you saw that technique there of opening the tin. It's also quite incredible. And then generously spoon the guavas. I'll show you this in just 1 second. Just a little bit of that syrup just over them. Right. Okay, so you've got the check how Larny that looks. Okay. And then into that you're just going to trickle the custard, the hot custard, ice cold guavas. Look at that. This makes me so excited. It's one of those childhood things, But just remember the custard now we've got now for the rest of lockdown. Clearly, I could have made more, but I made too many omelets this morning. I had a couple of hiccups. The ADT guys are very, very happy in this feed. All right, so there we have it. Strobe on that, so let's make it more impressive. Guavas and custard. It's beautiful. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video. You might wonder what we are doing on YouTube and why have we got this channel. And as you see, all of this happened during lockdown. COVID-19 is where this YouTube channel started, and one of the big things for me was to during this lockdown period, and especially being in the hospitality industry and owning a restaurant, was to be able to look after my team and my staff. And basically we have taken my book Mile 8, and all the sales and all the proceeds to the book, or from the book, go to our staff fund, which is pretty special. So you can go to the Marble website and you can purchase your book there. And I think that's just really where we are with this channel as well. I think whatever money is raised from this channel, obviously we need to cover for production costs and so forth of the channel itself. But majority of the proceeds will also then go to a fund, and that fund is going to be ongoing it'll be ongoing after COVID and everything else, because I think one of the biggest things that we realize is how vulnerable ourselves and our staff become in situations like this. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Tune in for the next one. Cheers, guys.